Yeah. So I think we'll start. We have more people joining in. Yeah. So good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever, whichever part of the globe you're joining in from. Welcome to our webinar on adaptive learning and personalized education in the digital era. I'm delighted to be the host for today's session, and we have an exceptional list panelists who are joining us, each bringing their unique expertise and insights into the session. We will deep dive into the realm of adaptive learning. Before we begin, I would like to kind of start off by introducing our Adroit LMS. So Adroit is an LMS which Exaltius kind of uh, have come up, or like we have introduced, and it's actually utilized for a cutting edge adaptive learning technology to tailor education experience to kind of individuals like who are learners who want to optimize their learning journey, right? Like for each student it will be different. So you can actually learn more about Adroit LMS by visiting our website adroit-lms.com. Now actually, without further ado, let's dive into the discussion. I would want to introduce our panelists. So I would start off with Dr. Svetlana Tatsutkar. So first, allow me to introduce her, the director of Kohinoor Business School from Mumbai, India. She have over 23 years of experience in the research, teaching, and training field. Dr. Svetlana is a leading author in the field of banking, finance, and education. Her impressive credentials uh, um, include a PhD in banking, master in commerce, and extensive research on topics such as mergers and acquisition and wealth management. Svetlana's dedication to the education extends beyond academia. Actively initiative including the financial literacy program and corporate training. We are honored to have you on board.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nathan. The pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much for having me over.
It's our pleasure as well. Yeah. Now, next in our panel, we have Mr. Bon Dobler, recognized as one of Asia's top 10 education leaders in 2022 and a global youth leader. With a passion for human resource development and personalized education, Bon has made significant contribution to the field of education as both a practitioner and a taught out leader. His innovative approach to leadership and learning has earned him acclaim from peers and students alike. As a public speaker and advocate for education reforms, Bond brings a fresh perspective to this discussion. We are thrilled to have you on board, Mr. Bond. Yeah,
Thank you very much. It is indeed a wonderful opportunity to be with you this afternoon.
amazing, amazing. Good to know that. Yeah. Moving forward, joining us is Dr. Babita Jha, an associate professor at Christ University, Delhi, NCR, with over 15 years of teaching experience in finance and accounting. Now, Dr. Jha's expertise lies in bridging theories and practice, making complex financial concepts accessible to students and professionals alike. Her dedication to continuously learning is evident in her extensive research, contribution, and corporate training. Dr. Jha's commitment to excellence in education has earned her recognition and accolades throughout her career. Now, we are also welcoming you and excited to have you on board, Dr. Babita. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you to the esteemed panel member.
Thank you for that. And last but not the least, of course, we have Mahmood Hamdi Niana, a senior cybersecurity instructor with Exaltius, with over 20 years of practical experience in cybersecurity. Mahmood's deep understanding of cyber threats and security technology makes him a sought-after expert in the field. As an instructor and a mentor, Mahmood is passionate about educating others on cybersecurity's best practice and empowering learning to stay ahead of emerging threats. We are honored to have you on board, Mahmood. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very glad to be with you, and I wish that be informative session for everyone.
Perfect. Sounds good. So, yeah, without, I think, wasting much of our time, we would deep dive into the questions. So, I would want to address my first question to Mahmood, right? Uh, So let's say what are some of the cost-effective measures that businesses can implement when moving their training programs online?
Okay. I think from my personal experience, converting physical training materials into online training presents face several challenges for trainers. Firstly, we can consider the trainer side, but let me at the beginning push for a specific point. You come back again for a specific. Uh, we would like to consider also business benefits from moving to an online model by applying some cost-effective measures, such as utilizing online platforms by using existing online learning forms and tools rather than developing customer solution from scratch. These platforms often offer a range of features and contents libraries to a fraction of the cost of building your own platform. Also, adopting open education resources uh, by leveraging open education resources such as free textbooks, articles, videos, and courses from different platforms provide high quality education materials in almost no cost. This would allow asynchronous learning models, which will let you to employ complete training to their own pace, and also reduce the need for live instructors and scheduling conflicts. Uh, from this perspective, also, the virtual instructor lead training instead of traditional live present training can save fixed costs associated with utilities, venue retail, and training facilities, while still providing interactive learning experience. Also, uh, gamification. This would help in integrating gamification elements into training programs to increase engagement and motivation. Uh, and also gamification features implemented relatively inexpensive using existing e-learning platforms. On the other hand, peer learning and mentoring among employees is a cost-effective way for knowledge and experience sharing. This would be implemented through creating online discussions, forums, and groups. Finally, introducing centers that can be reported to multiple trainers programs or courses such as creating modular contents, templates, and multimedia assisted that can be easily adapted and reused according different training programs.
Yeah.
Finally, by the end of the learning journey, the assessment tools and quizzes used to evaluate employee learning outcomes it could be done remotely. These tools will reduce the cost of assessment process itself and would allow flexible assessment updating and also can be automate grading and provide immediate feedback for the uh, people who attend the training in general.
Mm.
Those are some of the cost-effective measures that business can consider while moving their training to the online forms. Uh, Please consider reducing cost and maximize benefits of the training.
Makes sense. Yeah. I think those are like, yeah, valuable insights over there actually, coming from your experience in the education space. So thank you for that perspective, Mahmood. Now let's hear from Dr. Babita. So I would want to address a different trajectory, like question to that. Like, so let's say in terms of education, like as an educator yourself, right? Like, so from coming from your experience, what are some of the common challenges trainers face when converting their existing training material into online modules, and how can they overcome them?
The first major challenge which we face during online teaching or learning, in fact, it is the engagement. Now, again, keeping engaged students in an offline environment, it is entirely different, okay, than keeping it in an online environment. So the major challenge which online educators face in terms it is of engagement. But again, like if we keep some quizzes, if we keep some discussions around all these things, then okay, we can keep our population or our people engaged. Second constraint is the technical constraint, which is majorly being faced, okay, in terms of network issues, internet connectivity, even like some of the materials, if you want to get it as per the requirement of the public or the student or the listener, okay, then also that material is not being uploaded by the participants who actually want those material. So again, that becomes a much challenge, because even personally, some of my students, they say, ma'am, like this website or this particular whatever learning app you have told, that is a good app, but thing is that we are unable to access it, okay, or there is so much of complication in
Right.
accessing that particular app, so we are really facing difficulties. So again, we can make it user friendly, or we can have an easy access to those websites or either app, whatever we are taking into consideration. Then the third challenge, which I basically think it is in terms of adapting the content as per the requirement of the online education. So again, not all materials they can be converted into this thing online material, because some of the educators, they think all the materials they can be easily converted into whatever they are teaching through physical mode, that can be converted into online, the entire material. It's not the case. Some material which are interesting, which will be influential to the people, that should be carried on to the through online mode. Otherwise, entire material, it becomes sometimes becomes difficult to be converted into online thing. Then comes the interaction problem whenever through online, because it's difficult to interact with the people so easily. Because if we are in the physical mode, interaction it becomes very
True.
easy. But when we are operating through this thing online mode, so interaction it becomes a major challenge for the trainer or whosoever taking classes. Then
Right.
again, the major challenge which come, it is in terms of assessment in terms of physical, like assessment if we are taking, then we are keeping a check on them. But when we are going for online assessment, there can be a copied this thing answers, or or there
Yeah.
can be certain other things which can be written by a student, okay, which can easily be misused, and they can get good marks. So again, assessment become a real challenge, okay, for the online educators. So then comes the accessibility. So now, like most of the Indian students or most of the students, they say, ma'am, all the materials they are not easily accessible to us, okay, how to go get with an easy accessibility. So this is again one of the most challenging thing which a student or a learner faces, and even as an educator, we also face these challenges. So
I
again,
think
if we talk to overcome these challenges, there are several ways out. Okay, like it should be user friendly. The content should be adapted. Even like feedback sessions can be taken. All these things can be done to overcome these challenges.
true, true. Yeah, I think that is a very good like insights or perspective from your experience, which is coming from
In
there.
fact, Nadin, if you allow me to just add one more
Yes, yes.
point to Babita, she was so
Please
pertinent.
go ahead.
I think
Go ahead.
Babita, I think Babita, for educators keeping pace with the modern technology, and because that is ever changing.
Yes.
By the
Yeah.
time you have moved your offline resources to the online resources in a particular manner, suddenly there is a change in technology, and then adapting to that new technology. I think as educators, because we are not tech people, we are educators, and
Yes.
that's where tech companies like you, Altus, comes to our rescue. So thank you, Nadin, for supporting us educators so that we are able to take all our knowledge to the larger audience. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate your response as well. Yeah, so that's what what we try to do as a tech company in terms of the education space is like try to overcome few of these challenges with the solution what we are having. So like I know technology is constantly evolving, so we try to overcome few of the
Absolutely.
objections which you have raised, like, or the challenges, let's say in terms of
Absolutely.
adaptive learning. The we use a lot of AI technology which kind of curate content for us like as per the student's capacity, right? So every student in the class is different. We try to create some engagement activities gamified, like, so engagement is also measured with the help of AI, with the expression what the students are giving while throughout the class. So we actually try to add on certain technology, especially with the help of AI and the emerging technologies which are coming up, so that it gets easier over time. Right now, we are still working on it. A lot of new things being added as we speak. So eventually, like, yeah, these challenges probably once we get through that technology, we should be able to address at some point of time.
I'm sure.
Great, great.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, again, yeah, thank you for that insight. I
Thank
would
you.
quickly want to go to Mr. Bond and address a question in terms of online training, right? Like, so so as in your experience, are there any specific trend or innovations in online training that the trainers should be aware of and incorporated into their programs?
Thank you for that. Actually, there are several trends and innovations with
Mhm.
regards to online trainings that we as trainers and even educators must be aware of in order for us to cope up with the changes. As what we've mentioned, the ever rapid changes, infusion of
Yeah.
technology, the influx of AI, and so on and so forth. These emerging trends can actually enhance the learning experience of our students. And if we are also to recognize in adaptive learning, the first and foremost, the fundamental is to understand the diversity of our learners,
Okay.
understanding to who we offer the learning, to who we teach, to who we train. And of that, there are several trends that we can actually consider. First is on micro learning. Micro learning is an approach that can actually improve our retention and engagement by focusing simply on key concepts, allowing our learners to absorb the nuggets, the snippets, and to
Mhm.
absorb this information quickly as possible. Microlearning involves delivering content in small, easily digestible chunks. Aside from microlearning, it is also a trend nowadays to use AI-powered personalization because our goal is to enhance the personal experience of our learners when they engage in our trainings. So AI-powered personalization affords that opportunity, gives us that privilege to enhance personal learning. Through artificial intelligence, we know adaptive learning platforms are also being challenged to look at who we offer our service and thereafter allow our learners to discover. It was mentioned a while ago by our esteemed panelists that adoption or the concept of engagement is very critical in ensuring this shift from the traditional to the online one. And while we recognize such artificial intelligence, while not neglecting the power and the essence of the human touch, would be our niche and our key
True.
critical key partner in ensuring this. Third is on I don't know if it is still a trend, but it is being used widely, virtual reality and augmented reality. It should
Yeah.
also be infused as another trend because we know that it affords our learners an immersive learning experience, which also allows them to personally discover things from the comforts of their homes. However, there are challenges with regards to affordability, the materials, and so on and so forth. Fourth
Yes.
would be social learning and collaboration. The use of social boards, groups, social groups into learning. It is also a trend because we know that online platforms or online programs today also incorporates the essence of social learning. And from there, we learn how to benchmark, we learn from others, we learn from peers. And finally, the last trend that I would love to give is also on mobile learning in terms of accessibility. Aside from gamification, it is essential that we understand mobile learning. Increasing prevalence of smartphones, tablets, mobile learning affords our learners to easily access our learning materials. These might be together with snippets of micro learning, nano degrees, would be an effective shift for our learners in the training field.
True, true, and I totally believe that as well. Thank you for sharing your expertise in that. So I think you covered quite a few part of like the challenges which is being faced currently with the industry within the industry. Uh, Thank you again, Mr. Bond. I would quickly want to jump into a question to Ms. Svetlana. So, Svetlana, with your experience, right, again as an educator with all these years, so can you elaborate on some specific examples of how transitioning to online training has increased accessibility to the learners? Because I believe Mr. Bond also spoke about accessibility here.
Sure. I think Nadin, the fact that we are sitting in different parts of India and different part of the world, and
Mhm.
accessing this session all together, and learners across the globe are able to access this session, I think
True.
is a wonderful example to start with. That yes, online, the online method definitely has helped to increase accessibility. There is no question about that.
Correct.
Now let me come to a teacher by passion, so I won't be able to answer in one sentence, so let me elaborate on this.
Yeah.
Coming to the specific questions on, do I have any specific examples to give about increasing of the learners in terms of accessibility? Before I come to that, I think let me give a little set a little context about the education system in the country. Not that online method was not available. The online method was available world over, and let me tell you that the University of Toronto started the first online course in 1984, and India, embarked on this journey in 2000. But let me tell you,
Okay.
Nadin, it required a COVID 2019 for all of us to actually use it and use it immediately. And that was a time when companies like Xaltis came up, and handheld all the educators to ensure that together we are able to take care of the crisis and ensure that teaching learning just does not stop. Now, when it comes to India, we're coming from that Vedic, culture of the Gurukul system, where we had the Guru and the Shishya, and definitely the British colonialism system brought in the formal education system into the country. But we come from that beautiful thought that we must have a human guru in front of us. So India took some time to migrate to the online platform.
Yes.
Let me give you my example, a little of my example. In 2017, Nadin, and then I'll come to the examples in terms of how we were able
Mm.
to increase the number of learners.
Okay.
Coming to my example, I'm sure you guys would resonate. In 2017, my institute had received an assignment from the Taiwanese government on imparting some training to the Taiwanese businessmen. And at that time, Zoom platform was asked as a virtual platform to deliver. Now then, it
Mhm.
took us 3 days. The entire team took 3 days to find out how to enter into the platform. And thanks to COVID in 2020, we were actually accessing Zoom while walking on corridors, and
True.
actually migrating from one meeting into another. And it took me back to 2018, saying that okay, I actually took 3 days to learn this, and today I'm doing it whilst I'm walking from Zoom to
Yeah,
Google and etc.
totally
So
understand.
I think thanks to COVID 2019, in adversity comes a lot of opportunities.
True.
India had adopted the online platform. I'm sure you would have heard about NPTEL. This is the National Program on Technology Enhanced Learning in 2003. This was an initiative by IIT and IISc.
Yes.
We also had a platform called as Swayam. We had about 2000 plus courses over there. But nobody thought about it, because for us,
Yeah,
a human guru needs to be there. And then, as
true.
I said, thanks to COVID 2019, we are left with no option but to migrate to the online platform. And
True.
that is where we realize that there is so much of benefits migrating to the online platform. Number one is it increases a lot of access. I was able to
Okay.
attend so many webinars, so many seminars world over only because of this accessibility. Now, talking about the students, in at my institute today, my students are able to take programs as per their pace. I
Okay.
think So here I'm taking care not only of the clever students but also of the average students, because we have an LMS in place today, and I was able, they and me. Students are a little
Yeah.
more adaptive than a teacher.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like unless I am there, they are not able to learn. But I think that has changed now. I'm giving them the liberty to go back and learn at their own pace. This has
True.
increased the number of accessibility to the learners.
Yeah.
I'm also able to take learning at my time. So these are
Yeah.
some of the examples that I can quote from my, from my
Yeah.
that I think. Thanks to the virtual platform today, we are able to ensure that we are able to reach the last mile out there. Of course, with definitely good infrastructure, we're able to reach to the last woman and the last girl and the last child there with this online platform.
True. True, true. Yeah, that's amazing what technology can do as well, right? Like, so in the education space also, that's something we are so proud of. Like, yeah, we can contribute in some way. And amazing that, like, yeah, you have shared your experiences on like how accessibility is like kind of changing the education system itself throughout the globe. So yeah, again, like, thank you for sharing that expertise. Now, let me go back to Mr. Mahmood, right? Like, Mahmood, how do you recommend balancing the scalability of online training with maintaining a personalized learning experience for participants?
Okay, let me, before we start, please confirm that you can hear me clearly now.
Yeah, all good.
It's better now.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. So, if you are talking about balancing scalability with mentioning a personalized learning experience in online training can be achieved through a combination of strategic that leverage technologies and also institutional design principles. This could be achieved by use adaptive learning, which are platforms that use algorithms to analyze learners' data and dynamically adjust content
Mhm.
and assessment to meet individuals' needs based on each participant's knowledge level and learning style and also progress rate. Also, offering a customizable learning path. This will allow learners to select from a variety of modules, courses, and resources tailored to their needs. This will enabling them to pursue topics that are most relevant and engaging to them. And it would be useful to have personalized feedback and coaching. This will identify areas where learners may need additional support or guidance and provide targeted feedback to help them improve their performance and achieve their learning goals. Moreover, by offering individual support and mentoring to learners who requires additional assistance or guidance. Also, I believe that continually assess learners' progress and engagement levels to adapt their training programs accordingly by using data analytics that learners feedback to identify areas for improving, refine courses contents and delivery methods, and tailor the learning experience to better meet the need of individual practitioners. Uh, by employing these strategies, organizations can achieve scalability in their online training programs while maintaining a personalized learning experience that meets the diversity needs of different people who are practicing or attending this learning training course.
Yeah, I think yeah. So a couple of valid points over there. Like yeah, so even what we try to do is like do a lot of data analysis in terms of our courses and the students and like yeah how they have performed. So like whenever we are curating a program, we can actually like do better in terms of any changes to be made or in terms of the module itself. So that's something which we also kind of work a lot on in terms of like balancing the scalability of our online courses which we offer.
This online courses will give us this benefit to achieve or benefit from these different modern technologies that are available now.
Exactly, exactly. And then, yeah, the personalized learning path is, I think it's paramount important these days because every learner is different. They are coming from different industries, probably they have different learning style. So, personalized learning has to be like prioritized so that the course content itself stay relevant to all the students who are taking the class or like you're taking up that particular program. So,
Yes, I
yeah.
think also Paul was pointed to it at the beginning of his speech.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. So that's what. So thank you, Mahmood, for sharing your ideas and thoughts on that. Now, again, like yeah, moving forward, I'll quickly address one more questions to Ms. Dr. Babita. So, just to understand your expertise on this, what are some metrics or indicators that businesses can use to measure the success of their online training programs?
Okay. So the first metric, okay, that will be essentially the website traffic. The number of visitors you should be counting whenever you are considering the metric. So how many visitors they have actually visited your website. That will
Okay.
be the major metric, okay, when we talk in terms of online program.
Mm-hmm.
Second one, it is not only the website traffic, it is the conversion rate also. Like how many visitors they have actually been converted into the users. Because
Okay.
many people they
True.
will be visiting your website. Okay, initially
True.
website visiting is a challenge. Then okay, once visitors are there, how to convert them into like real users. Then again, a major metric can be the sales revenue generated from whatever online program which you are launching. Again, that is a major indicator which we should not which we should keep in mind whenever we are going for online program. Because again, if you are not able to generate the sales revenue and you are bearing an
Correct.
amount of cost, so you can understand the effectiveness of your program. Then, of
Correct.
course,
Correct.
is the ROI. Whatever ROI you are generating through your program, that is return on investment. That is, again, an effective metric of an particular online program. Then,
True.
of course, if we talk about engagement metrics, so if suppose I'm using a particular website or if I'm using a particular app, how much engaged or like for how many time number of hours, okay, I have been using that particular app or that particular website for my understanding. Because nowadays it is very easy that we can easily get certificates from an online course, okay, simply by moving our cursor here and there, okay, we are able to finish our courses of 30 hours in 3 hours also. Okay, the thing is that for how many hours, okay, you were able to engage that particular learner, okay, that again that is a challenge also. But again, it become an engagement metric. So engagement metric should always be there, okay, when we are talking about a metric. Then again, if we talk about metrics, social media metrics are also there. How many followers are there? That means how many views you have generated, how many sharing of your app or of whatever website you're talking about. Okay, so all
Correct.
these can be one of the metric. Then a major metric which we should not forget is mobile metric. So mobile metric simply means how many people or how many students, which I have seen personally noticed, they are carrying that particular app in their mobile, or how many features they are able to catch in their mobile of a particular online this thing app, or if we talk about website. So that again become an important metric. So whenever we are going through any online program, we
Mhm.
should really keep these metrics or these parameters into mind, okay, while launching of any app, or even if you're developing a website. So we should be keeping these things in mind. So these are the metrics from my side.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, so since you mentioned about mobile metric at the very end, so yeah, that's something which we have worked on very extensively as well. We wanted to keep it accessible, and exactly the reason why we came up with our LMS, which is Android on both the mobile platforms. So we know that like a lot of students these days want to have that convenience of learning not only in front of a system, like yeah, they probably would want to learn when they are on the move as well. So yeah, so that's something which we also have worked out with Android LMS, like very extensively. Yeah. So thank you, Dr. Babita, for sharing that thoughts. Now, Mr. Bond, so coming back to you, so what role do community forums or discussion boards plays in enhancing an online learning experiences, and how can trainers encourage their participation in like yeah in those courses, I would say.
Thank you for that. As we engage into searching for the best possible ways to engage our learners, it is important that we have our immediate support, and that would be the community forums and the
Yes.
discussion boards. Community forums and discussion boards play a significant role in enhancing the online learning experience by providing platforms for learners where they can actually interact, where they
True.
can collaborate, or even share their own knowledge. With
Yeah.
this, these forums offers actually a sense of community, the vibe of being included, the power of inclusion despite diversity should be
Yeah.
emphasized in our community forums and discussions. With
True.
this, what are the key benefits when we have community forums and discussion boards on the road? No, first is through community platforms, we afford peer-to-peer learning, students to student learning, or professional to professional learning. Peer-to-peer learning, which emphasizes the collaborative pursuit of these learners, of these trainees, of these mentees to be engaged, providing different perspectives about the course material. Second is the power of social interaction in the sense that these community platforms provide our learners ample space where they can feel included. These forums create opportunities for social interactions, connections, widening of reach and of networks. Aside
Yeah.
from the usual classroom setup that they have, this also affords them an opportunity to be engaged with other people from the different sectors, from different industries. Third is it is a very supportive environment where nurturance of learning is afforded. Discussion boards help our learners to have this safe space for interaction and for support. This would
Yeah.
be a good platform for knowledge sharing. But the challenge now is how can we engage them into participating with these discussion boards? Because
Mm.
definitely those are the benefits, but how we can actually encourage them to participate? We need to, number one, set for clear instructions, clear expectations. When there are groups, community groups, we have to set clearly what are the things that they need to adhere on, what are the guidelines, the expectations, what are the do's and the don'ts, including the rules, the respectful and the constructive interaction
Correct.
that
Correct.
they need to facilitate. Second
Yes.
is to we need to also integrate this in our curriculum in the sense that this is designed to allow our learners to participate, to share, and to contribute. Therefore, we need to also have this triggering factor for our learners. Why would I need to be engaged? Because it is part of the dynamics and the roadmap that you need to accomplish before you get
Correct.
the degree. Third
Correct.
is recognition and rewards. Because if we want to engage them, because accessibility is actually a problem, accessibility is a problem, but we can eliminate that problem if these people would understand the value, the essence of why we do it. Value adding. As mentioned a while ago by our esteemed panelists, there are these metrics in scaling our LMS, the measurements of their engagement in our platforms. But at the
True.
end of the day, if these people would not find value to the things that we offer, it will all be senseless. So with that, through community boards, through groups, through these platforms that allow them to share, to contribute, to be themselves, and to ask questions, definitely everyone would benefit. Lastly, I would love to point out that in order for us to effectively manage transitioning and allowing our learners to develop personalized experience, enrich experience, we need to leverage our community forums and discussion boards effectively. This would enhance a more engaging and a more supportive environment, not only for our learners, but even for us as the trainers.
True, true. Yeah, I totally believe that too. Like, yeah, so it is always important to encourage the learners to be more proactive in terms of sharing their yeah, ideas and like yeah, their experiences as well in the community forum. In that way, like, yeah, they are more confident, and like, yeah, there's a networking opportunity as well, which added to whatever points you have mentioned over there. So of course, like, yeah, so as a trainer also, it's important that, yeah, we push our learners to share their experiences and thoughts through multiple community forums and channels possible. So yeah, thank you again, Shabon. And now coming back to Miss Dr. Svetlana. So quick question, like, yeah, could you share some of the key features or functionalities like that a trainer should look when they are selecting an learning management system?
Sure. So Nadin, I would say that looking at the various approaches that are available, definitely the learning management system, that is the online platform, definitely is considered to be a very good approach today to deliver education to the learners. However, there are some functionalities that as a learner or educator,
Yeah.
we need to ensure before defining the LMS that I want to put in for my students in place. So number
Yeah.
one is an LMS anyways has all the data centralized at one place. So that is definitely, so the student or the educator need not travel through multiple websites. That's already the benefit inside the LMS. However, there are
Right.
some things that as an educator and as a learner I would like to have inside the system. Number one is the possibility of multimedia integration, that is
Yeah.
interactive and engaging material. And Dr. Babita said that that's a challenge to keep the audiences engaged in a in a online session. So if at all there is engaging material already inbuilt into the system, whereby there are some quizzes, contents, polls, etc., that keep coming during the session, so that is one thing. Number two is upgrading the content. So there are some courses, especially the tech courses, that are ever evolving. So
Right.
without the educator prompting, automatically the LMS can update it with the latest, possible available knowledge. That's definitely going to help real time. It's going to help my students real time. Number three is communication and collaboration. The LMS should have the possibility and should have the features whereby the learners are able to collaborate with each other. So maybe chat box, breakouts. I think
Right.
that's already there. But you having some more features, and I'm sure Zaltis is working on that. Apart from that, a connect between the faculty as well as the learners, so educator and learner, so whether some kind of collaboration and communication can happen apart from chats, any other methods that can be put in. Next is analytics and progress tracking. So their LMS should definitely provide me an understanding of the students. What is the progress of the students? Have they taken the course? Have they, what is the level at which they've taken the course? So I'm able to find out the slow learners from the fast learners, and that will help me to put some systems in place so that I'm able to pull up the slow learners and put them in a good pace thereafter. Next is assessment and feedback. Can I have
Right.
the assessment ingrained inside the LMS system only, so that I do not have to put in a separate assessment, capsule in place? I think the next one is personalized learning. Every student is different, every child is different, and every child has got different, methods of learning. So today there are modules available which are not timed, so the student can take it at their own pace and complete it at their own place, and that will also help, to create the environment of adaptive learning. So these are some of the things. And finally, easy onboarding. So it should be very, very user friendly and accessible. Whether he's accessing it from his mobile, his desktop, his laptop, it should be easily accessible at the go. In fact, I'm asking for a little too much, Nadin, right now. My last thing, I don't know whether companies like you can help me in that. There are so many students. So I'm engaged in the TIS NUSST program, where we deliver management education to students belonging to humbled homes here. And here, there are students who come from absolute underprivileged background, and they do not have the funds to even afford internet
Right.
connectivity, at the least cost.
Totally
So
understand.
can we have an LMS that can work without internet connection? I'm just wondering on that, so that will help. I know I'm asking a little too much, but Nadin,
No,
please.
no, no, totally.
These are
Like, yeah,
some of the
I think
things.
I think, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely this is something which is definitely thought after, and like, yeah, uh, it's a good suggestion, I would say. Like, yeah, we would definitely wanna work something out and like, yeah, sit with our team and understand if that's some a possibility which can be done. Of course, if
In
it is,
fact, in fact, Nadine, I think even educators are definitely using LMS platforms, but today corporates have also started using LMS
yes,
platforms.
yes.
Yes,
Yeah, a
so
lot of
you know,
corporates actually do use
so
LMS platforms.
for
Yes,
their induction programs, I've seen that they're
correct.
using it for their induction program. They're using it to, put in multiple teams across locations. They're using it for their onboarding and compliance processes. So I'm sure
True,
it
true.
has a bright future. You know.
True, true. Especially with companies who are at multiple geographies, right? Like so, they are multinational firms, and they have a centralized training
Yes,
system. They want a centralized training system. So if you see all those
yes,
companies who wants to provide induction programs or some kind of small trainings as well, they already are looking to procure some LMS which can cater to that needs. So it's not only confined to like education industry. Anywhere training is required and online training is required, LMS is like paramount important right now. So yeah, I think a lot of pointers what you mentioned over there is something which we have already worked upon with Adroit LMS, and then we are looking to kind of enhance it furthermore in terms of facilitating to the audience and the crowd, or like even if it is a trainer or a learner who is using it, should be user friendly. So that's what we are trying to
yes.
do as well.
Absolutely. And I think Mr. Bond also quite well covered it, accessibility.
Yes,
So we
yes.
could have the accessibility across all the devices. That could also help the student to take the program across all devices.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. So that's a valid point again. Yeah. So thank you, Ms. Dr. Svetlana, for sharing that insight. Now, considering time, right? Like, so quick 2 minutes, Mr. Mahmood, right? Like, so I just want to go back to yeah. So, what are some common challenges what trainers faces when converting their existing training material into online modules, and what do you think? How can they overcome them?
Okay, actually, this is a very important point that might face everyone who's working in field of teaching or learning in general. Uh, from my personal experience, converting physical training materials into online training presents faces several challenges.
Yeah.
uh, first of all, maybe the trainer is late for some technical skills related to how to deal with technology and things like that. Online training delivery forms in
Correct.
general requires different forms than instructing technologies in general. So this including knowledge of e-learning authoring tools, learning management systems, ALMS that we already mentioning it during our session today, and also multimedia production, how to produce interactive materials that would be encouraging people to keep all the time concentrating within the session and also interacting with the training session itself. But in general, this could be overcome by maybe we need to train our trainers to attend professional development training courses or sessions to learn how to use learning tools and software. Mainly, I mentioned here e-learning tools. I mean, also we can mention or consider collaboration with another instruction designer, maybe multimedia specialist, would help in assist trainers in developing their already learning materials, and also this will help them to develop online modules. On the other way, also things would go in the wrong direction. Actually, uh, as a trainer, many times we face some difficulties, uh, and that's why trainers may need to be able and ready to manage technical issues and support.
Correct.
Uh, Technology glitches, software compatibility issues, and inadequate technical support or disruption on the learning experience. Uh, the trainer can mitigate such challenges by providing clear instruction to his students and also technical support resources for accessing and navigate online modules.
Correct.
Learners need to offer troubleshooting tips and pre-prepared questions to help learners to troubleshoot common technical issues that they might face independently. Uh, People who attend training need to learn how to independent in troubleshooting and fixing their personal issues they might meet. Also, establishing a dedicated support team or help desk, maybe mentoring team to assist learner with technical problems that inquiry promptly. Uh, Finally, I think, and maybe this would be the hardest, maintaining learner engagement. Uh, as a trainer, to get sure or to grant that all the attendees of the training course are engaged, this is a challenging,
Correct.
especially
Correct.
after we lost the face-to-face interaction or physical interaction. So encouraging active participants through discussions, polls, maybe performing some interactive activities. This could help to overcome this. Also facilitating peer collaboration. This is also mentioned from other attendees today. Uh, Peer collaboration and group projects. This will enhance a sense of community. We need to break the ice between people who are attending behind the screen to refeel again that they are in a community, a learning community, and they need to be interacting together. Providing timely feedback and personalized support to keep learners motivated and on track. This is also a very important point that we need to customize or adjust the feedback to suit every individual learner because we have different learners, different styles, different mentalities, different education level. So we need to adjust our feedback to fit with everyone. Anyway, I think this might be the common challenge that meets me as a trainer. Uh, Implementing effective strategies, trainer can also successfully convert their existing training materials into guidance and engage in effective online modules to overcome the conversion from physical to virtual training model.
Understood, understood. I think, yeah, you covered quite a bit of point over there. So I just quickly want to address one of that point to Dr. Babita. Like, yeah, so in terms of that learner engagement, right? Like, so how can trainer ensure their online courses remain engaging? So, quick thoughts of yours.
First and foremost, like the content can be an interactive content. Like sometimes it becomes, if theory is only there, it becomes really very monotonous for a student, okay, to entire for a particular
Right.
course. So there can be quizzes, there can be some drag and drop activities, or there can be some pollings in between, so that students they are remain engaged throughout the session. Otherwise, if it is only text based, then naturally the attention level of the student goes after
Correct.
15 to 20 minutes, okay, it will drop down. So in between, after 15, 20, or 25 minutes, at least there should be one polling, there should be one quiz, or there should be some drag and drop activities, so that the this particular learning it remains an interactive one. Secondly, what I think, like as told by Bon, discussion forums again plays a very important role, because in terms of discussion forum, if there is some point which a student wants to discuss, so that particular point should be catered, or the need of a student should be satisfied. Otherwise, he will simply feel I am only getting what the other person wants to train me, because some doubts there might be in his mind. So to take all these things, a particular feature should be there which should basically focus on answering the doubts or clarifying a particular subject related query of a particular student. So again, that is a very important aspect. Then we can have again a virtual breakout sessions, which we say. So again, a virtual breakout session, if you are taking through online platform, we can divide a group into different, suppose there are 10 members, okay, in a particular course. So we can divide into two groups, and what we can do, tell them to play some roles, tell them to have some responsibilities, and then again they can come with a particular solution, so that they remain engaged throughout the session. So these type of exercises can be done, because I have not seen so far in the learning materials these exercises have been done, but it will really be an effective one if we can do, because collaboration again plays a very important role when we are
Correct.
talking in terms of studying. Then I can say that again, if we talk about this thing that is interactive, to make it more interactive, gamification should be there. So if I say gamification, some points, some rewards in the sense to keep our students motivating towards learning, some points or rewards should be there, so that he or she becomes very happy. That means I have scored so much of points, because students nowadays, they are crazy after any type of games, okay. So when they can play with other types of games, so why can't they have these study games also, wherein they can score points, wherein they can score some coins, in fact, and then they will spread a good word for you. Again, regular feedback, it is very important, because I have really seen nowadays some of the learning management systems and these platforms, they are really going for these things. So feedback and assessment, and not only the feedback, because what I have observed through my personal thinking is that feedbacks, they are taken on a regular basis, but hardly anything is being done on the implementation part of the feedback. So again, feedback should be taken, assessment should be done, but implementation part should be there from the solution provider. Otherwise, these feedbacks, they just will remain
True.
feedback only, and nothing will happen. So that is a thing
Understood.
through which we can make sessions more
Amazing,
interactive.
amazing. Yeah, thank you for sharing your thoughts again. Yeah, I think that is important to make it gamified and engaging, like when you're curating the content itself, right? So yeah, I think we also kind of try to work on the gamification of the system itself, and content curation is like, yeah, something we try to enhance it with the help of AI in our Android LMS. So we kind of try to give importance to both those aspects. Quickly, Mr. Bond, like before we could end the session, one more questions to both you and Dr. Svetlana. So, how does an LMS like simplify the process of delivering an online training, particularly in comparison to traditional methods? So, Mr. Bond, your thoughts on that?
Thank you for that. Through LMS, we know that it affords us of a centralized platform where would learning would actually be facilitated. Second is that it allows automated enrollment and management. Therefore, it's an easy access for our trainers to also gauge and even be fed of data, the analytics of how well our learners actually know. Third is to avoid distractions. We know that because it is a dedicated platform to where they would take and facilitate learning, LMS would be an effective tool to eliminate distractions. While we understand that there are different challenges, as one note from the question posted over our chat, it was asked if psychological motivation would be crucial, the intrinsic one. Yes, it is. But to aid that intrinsic motivation for our learners to stay on track, an LMS would actually be helpful because it
Yeah.
would allow content organization, delivery, and even feedback mechanism for assessment. That would be.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for that quick input again. Now quickly to you, Dr. Svetlana. So, in your opinion, right, like how does an LMS simplify the process of delivering like an online training, particularly in comparison to a traditional training methods?
Sure. I think most of it is covered, Nathan, but I would like to add just a few things over there. I think simplification happens when accessibility increases. So, if you simplify the access process for the students and the onboarding process of this for the students, I think that is where they are motivated. I think there's a question on motivation. I think
Correct.
that once you make the access process easy, they're automatically motivated to get into the system and start learning from the system.
Correct.
That is number one. Number two is, I will extend what Dr. Babita has said, that if you make it interactive, so if you have a lot of interactive methods where they are automatically engaged,
Yeah.
and definitely simple methods. We're not talking about complicated method where a poll comes and they just click. We're not
Yeah.
asking them to navigate across that entire thing. Something comes and they just click. So something like that, a drop down comes and they just, so something like that. So that is definitely going to, and
Correct.
definitely very simple. I will also
True.
like to extend what Dr. Babita made a very lovely, point on gamification. I think simple small games inbuilt into the system, I think simple games. I think that will also help,
Yes.
gather a lot of motivation from the students. One more thing that can also be, installed into the system that will simplify the entire process for the students is, let the assessment model be fit inside the system itself.
Correct.
So if the assessment is fit, it becomes easy and simple for the student. It becomes simple even for the educator.
True.
So right from the onboarding till the assessment, if the LMS has that entire process, built into it, it becomes
Yeah.
very simple for both of us to take the program. So these
True.
were my points.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you.
However,
Thank you for. Yeah.
definitely
Please go ahead.
I definitely prefer the blended model. I'm sure Dr. Babita will also agree, because whatever said Nadin, how good the LMS is, I'm
Yeah, I know.
sure
I know.
Very rightly
cannot
said. Yeah,
cannot create the haha moment which we as teachers get inside the classroom.
I know. I know.
exactly.
I know. I know where it's coming from. You as an trainer, educator, AI, you kind of enjoy that more. Yeah. So human interaction, of course. Uh, yeah. So I think again, thank you for sharing that. So I think we are uh, reached our time for the session. So as we wrap this webinar on adaptive learning and personalized education in the digital era, I am thrilled with the kind of insights shared by our esteemed panelists. Today, we kind of have explored how adaptive learning technologies are reshaping the future of education. So as we look ahead, let's continue to embrace the possibilities of adaptive learning and innovation in the pursuit of education excellence. Thank you again, all our panelists, and for your expertise and your experiences being shared, and to all the audience to join in for today. Remember, the journey of learning is a lifelong pursuit, and with the platforms like we spoke about and what we have come up with like Android LMS, we can make that journey even more enriching. So, thank you again, everyone, for joining in today. And I wish all of you have a lovely evening, like a day ahead as well.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Like, yeah, thank you for joining.
Very much. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
too.
very interesting.
Bye.